Wow, look at all the birds. Just flying around. Round and around. So, welcome to Balkash. Balkash. What can we say about Balkash? So we've been here. We had a trip here by bus, 8 hours sitting up, and it's less than comfortable. We might have got about an hour and a half each sleep. Same with Cat, got no sleep. He just has his eyes open the whole time, looking around.
11 hours, by the way.
Oh, 11 hours, sorry. Yeah, alright. That's because I slept too. And we arrived here. Now, the reason we've arrived here is because over there is a lake. And the lake is called Lake Balkash, or Balkash.
Yep,
but the lake, it's the 15th biggest lake in the world. On this side of the lake, the water is almost fresh, but there is another side to the lake where the water is salty, which makes it a very unique and unusual lake. So let's go and have a bit of a look around. Okay, so sometime in the future, and also probably sometime in the past, from where we were just standing, it would have been very easy to get to the lakeside, but there's a lot of tin up, and I believe it's because they're manufacturing a park, and this is a park area. So we've got a little bit of a park there, but before the sun goes down completely, we want to have a look at this lake, so let's go and get there. Okay, so this is the beautiful approach. Now we can see that there is a pack of dogs up there, which is probably not a good thing. Pack a whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dogs. No one owns 5 or 6 dogs, so I'm guessing they're wild, which means they could turn feral. But you can see here that they've got some foundations up there. There'll probably be some sort of a path at some point, but they're building a park. But at the moment, it's a little bit on the tacky side. So this is the approach to the water feature. The 15th largest lake in the world. And somewhat unique. And for somebody that left, when was the last time we saw proper water? Now there's another stray dog by himself. I hope he's stray, not stray. I hope he belongs to somebody. But we left, I think it was November, last time we saw water in Greece. And here we are, Lake Balkash, and some people wading in there, and the sand out here is, it's a dirty, it's more dirt, sandy dirt, I'd describe it as, but that's the whole countryside around here, sandy dirt. So it's not sand as in a beach, but the whole landscape around here is of this dirty, sandy soil. And that there in the background, those smoke pipes, I would say, are connected to the reason why Balkash is here. In the 1930s, the Soviets discovered that there was copper in them there, not hills, but they found them. They found copper, and so this was a source of copper during the Soviet days. When the Soviet Union broke down, everything shut down, and it does snow here in winter. Just trying to get you in the picture, though, but it keeps following me. Yeah, so in the 1930s, the place was a boom town under the Soviet system. In the 1990s, just everything stopped. People had no heating to their homes, they had no electricity, there was just nothing. So they struggled along, and you can see that the place was built in Soviet times, and they're making the best of what they got left from the Soviet times. There's nothing really new here. But the potential's here, especially for a country that doesn't have a lot of water, and the fact that Kazakhs go to Kyrgyzstan to go to Lake Encircled, suggests that they do like the idea of going to water, but
Encircled is better.
We'll see that for ourselves in a coming video.
I know.
Yes, I know. I've heard all about Lake Encircled. It's going to be awesome. Anyway, we're here at Balkash today, so let's just enjoy the place. So when we did a little bit of research online, looked on some YouTube channels, I found a Russian man trying to talk about the place as a potential for a resorty area, but he and others that have been here have explained that it's got a share of dirt and stuff. I don't know if we could see what's in that water, but rubbish everywhere basically. But you make the best of what you got. But the potential here would have been would be alright if they wanted to clean it up. Old tyres and plastic bottles and stuff everywhere. But people still enjoy it. They come down here. It's Saturday night. This is what you do. Come down, sit on the dirty sand and relax. And I tell you, it's very pleasant. And it's nice to look at the water. It is nice to look at the water. And those guys are a fair way offshore, but the water's about waist deep. So very little chance of drowning. So we've seen the obelisks in Turkey, and Balkash is not being left out. It's got its own obelisk right here by the lakeside. Fortunately, I wasn't quite quick enough, but we both just saw what appeared to be an otter swimming along, and we've been standing here for a little while now hoping he'd pop his head up again, but no, I can't see him. But it really did look like an otter. But
it was a big rat.
Could possibly be a big rat, darling. I can hear you out in the background speaking, so we can't hear you, but still having an opinion. That's good, but you're that far away. Yes, I was thinking that it could have been a rat, but if it was a rat, it was a big one with a, I don't know, otter-looking face. But anyway, seemed like an otter. Got lots of people sitting around here fishing. So if it's a rat, they're not going to be too concerned about rats and things if it's the case. More fisher people. And we got another pile of rubbish. And we got a boat coming in. Yeah, it's definitely not a rat. If we were on the other side, there's one swimming around here. It's definitely an otter, because a rat can't hold its breath that long and dive down. So yeah, it's going to be hard to spot, although Elaine's pointing at it. He's close to the shore, but I can't get him in the camera. Okay, so we do have some rules. If you swim, you RIP. I don't know, perhaps that's rest in peace, but I wouldn't have thought in Asia they would use that term. But we all know what that is. That's the universal symbol for watch out what's under the water. Just you never know what you could touch if you put your hands in the wrong place. Alright, so there's definitely fish out there, because there's the fishing fleet. One of the boats there, he's just pumping out his bilge. He's been out for the day, he's only just came back in. And he's just about, turned off his diesel engine. Got a couple of nice boats there, pleasure craft. I used to have a boat. I've had a few boats in my day, but yeah. Anyway, I used to have a boat. So the stacks there connected to the copper refinery, copper smelter, I assume it's called. And we've got a nice big crane there. I can't see over the other side of the wall there, but that would be big enough to pull a ship out of the ocean, really. That one, that's a biggie. And Elena's over here feeding the local feral cats. She spotted them yesterday when we arrived, so she packed a pack of food and walked over to feed them. Now, the population of Balkash, the city, is about 70,000 people, of which, besides some minor ethnic people, there is about 2/3 of the population, mainly native Kazakhs, and 1/3 of Russian descent. And we've seen quite a few Russian people, and Elena's made some friends for sure. Got 2 pussy cats that were not real sure, but if you're going to feed me, oh, I'm very happy to hang out with you. It's going well. So it's Elena, the cats, and the Russian children. Some Forrest Gump style trawlers. A couple of pleasure craft. Some telltale bottles floating there, end up, suggesting they're attached to crab nets. So crab pots. Now, I don't know if that means there are crabs here or not. Could be shrimp or something else that they're chasing, but maybe there is crabs. Why not? There's one man down there on the shoreline. His headlamp on, looking down into the water. I'd say there must be prawns or shrimp or something. That's the way to catch them. Anyway, I think that's enough for today because we've got the failing light. We'll see what else we can find in Balkash tomorrow.
Very busy park, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very busy park. This one here is a very busy park. And the thing is, it's right opposite the place that we're staying, so it's very conveniently located. If I was a 7-year-old child, I'd be so happy right now.
But you're not happy because you are not 7-year-old child?
Oh, no, I've got no problems.
Well, you are a child in your soul.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's another day, and in the daytime, during the day here in the summer, it's mid to late June, and this is a desert where we are here in Balkash, and you can tell when you're here during the day, it's pretty stiflingly hot but dry. I quite like this sort of weather, but it's dry, it's dusty. Now we've discovered that the Yandex app that we've been using all the time doesn't seem to work here. So trying to call a cab to go somewhere has proven to be quite an issue. Elena's currently in a shop here trying to find out how the locals do get cabs, because we can't figure out how. And the plan is to try and get around to a different part of the lake where there is a, and inverted commas, resort, on the expectation that the shoreline might be a little more conducive to relaxation and enjoyment. So we'll see how we go, but at the moment, knowing Elena, she'll walk me around the 15th largest lake in the world to find a part in 40-degree heat, and I got to tell you, I'm going to resist, but we'll find out what happens. So that's where we were, over there on the side of the industrial city. Now we arrived here by cab. It was quite a bit more expensive than what we used to, but we did travel about 20 kilometres. But it's an interesting app that we've been shown. You have to bid for a ride, so you put on what you'll want to pay, and they'll just ignore you if they don't like that price. So you put the price up a bit more until finally someone snaps it and says, yeah, I'll take you. So anyway, it's more expensive than anywhere else we've ever been. But now we're on this side. Now Well, first of all, I just want to explain that we learnt that that factory over there is indeed to do with the copper, but also gold manufacturing. Obviously they don't manufacture it, but purify it, I suppose is the term. Now, I happen to know that they use arsenic in gold production, so I'm just hoping that any arsenic that might be being used over there isn't discarded of in the water. So this is what we believe is the good bit. In fact, that little shed there says that you can pay 2,000 tengi. How much is 2,000 tengi, darling?
About 8 or 9 Australian dollars.
Alright, so for $8 or $9 we get the opportunity to sit under this tin shed and sit on this plastic bed thing. And this is the beach bit where people swim. There's some people out there that are, I don't know, maybe 25 metres out from the shoreline, and the water's up to their waist. And anyway, we'll sit here and relax and pretend we're in Honolulu. But darling, what else did you learn from your Russian conversation with our driver?
I told him, look, this place got enormous potential. The lake is beautiful, and if you would build resorts, this place would be booming, absolutely booming. It would be absolutely great for the economy, especially the local economy, because we saw the 4 houses on the way here. So that would definitely help the local people. And he said, unfortunately, the government doesn't allow that to happen. I asked him why. He said, well, you know how corrupted they are. I said, yeah, I know. Because I actually came from a neighboring country that, where the system is pretty similar to this one.
And over there in the distance is the remnants of a shipyard and the ships that used to be there during Soviet times. Our cab driver told us that when the collapse happened, that's it. Everything ground to a halt, and the stuff's just been sitting there since 1992. Yeah, so I've been in the water up to halfway up the calves. Yeah, the water's beautiful. It's when I say water temperature is beautiful, I don't mean it's cold and refreshing. I mean it's no shock to the system at all. The water's lovely and warm, and still refreshing. The only thing is that it's gravel. The bottom of the lake, as is the beach, it's gravel. It doesn't resemble sand. It's a little bit rough on my tender little tootsies. Okay, so we're headed for the world famous Flamingo Resort. Now, I didn't see this particular one, but there was another place calling itself a resort here. It was $195 a night. So let's see what a resort in Balkash is like. Well, entertainment's free. Snooker table, pool, lots of things for the kids to play with. That's the thing about the Kazakhs and the Kyrgyz. When they think of entertainment, they think of ways to make the kids happy. And I'd say that's because people get married here and have kids. And this fella here is yelling out to Elena. Here we go. This is a Kazakhstan resort. There's the little hotel rooms there. I'll try and catch Elena. I don't know where she's going. She's in a hurry. Okay, what we're after, we're chasing, is a soft drink to buy. Oh, that smell. Hunter. This is the resort dining area. It's got that mutton smell. Anyway, we're going to see if we're allowed to sit down and drink our Fanta somewhere outside. So it turns out we're allowed to buy things here, but we're not allowed to consume them here. So we'll have to go outside this wonderful resort, drink our soft drink. Yeah, so time stood still since 1992. 1991. Not exactly sure what date it would have occurred, but at some point they would have been told, well, there's no government money being spent here anymore because there's no government. So do whatever it is you like. I'd say these fishermen got off their boats for the last time and left. Okay, so it's turned into a case of crawling through the bare bones of the Soviet Union. And that room was what?
A cinema room, I think, but the chairs are facing the window, so I don't really get it. Oh, look at the birds.
Oh, the birds are using it now. So, yep, something went on in there. Everyone sat down in a group and was given some sort of instruction. We'll never know. So on the wall there is Dukan Elena magazine. Dukan is Kazakh for shop, magazine is Russian for shop, and Elena is Russian for Elena. So this is Elena's shop. She's been holding out on me. I've been giving her money to go to the shop, and she owned the shop the whole time. Okay, so we're in so we're in a construction site. Probably going to get thrown out any second to go, but Elena is red hot keen to show us this. So they're redoing all the paving. So there are plans to tidy up and make the lake shoreline appealing. And we're here when we're not supposed to be here, walking on the appealing paving, and the lake is just there. And we've got some building up there. I don't know what it is because it's in Cyrillic alphabet. I really don't know what it is, but I'm assuming that because of the tankers there, that this might all be connected to plans for war memorial type park. Okay, darling, so as I just thought, I can't read that Cyrillic, but you can. So can you confirm what is that there behind us?
I'm assuming this is probably a memorial, and it says eternal memory to those who gave their life during the Second World War.
Okay, well, I'd say that's a pretty good assumption because those words would pretty much confirm that thought. We'll go up and take a closer look. So wherever we go in the post-Soviet area, we do come across their memorials to the Great Patriotic War, otherwise known to the rest of the world as World War II. I believe we don't mention World War I in Sovietness because there was no Soviet Union in World War I. In fact, it was when the communists took over, they pulled Russia out of World War I, so they kind of lost. So we forget that war and we only focus on World War II, which apparently started in 1941 and ended in 1945. I'd say quite a few people were killed well before 1941, and the eternal flame is not currently eternal. But as I say, there's lots of renovation work. Looks like it's underway. So this might be quite the memorial in future times. Paving workers having a break. The gold and copper works steaming or smoking away in the background, and the Balkash lake. It looks like sand. It's sort of desert dirt though. So this is probably the biggest ute we've come across, sitting here in the park. And when I see these big round rooms, they always remind me of a joke we used to tell, how to confuse an Irishman. Put him in a round room and tell him to sit in the corner. And they love affair with horses. It continues. And we love our good monument. This one here says in Cyrillic, Balkash. And I did notice that earlier on, when I asked Elena where we were going to, she said Balkhash. Now apparently in Russian, it's always been known as Balkhash, but the Kazakhs definitely spell it as Balkash. And what we have here is obviously a monument to the people who built this city on the back of metal manufacturing. A nice big hot urn full of molten gold or copper. Now we love things here in this park, hence the big love heart. We've got a couple alternative spellings for Kazakhstan. I've seen this one a few times. They're using a Q instead of a K twice in the same word. So if you can imagine, that's Kazakhstan, Kazakhstan, and we want to go Cyrillic. Then we use K and A. The backward 3 is a Z. The X is an H. The C is an S, and it goes on. The H down the end's an N, but that also gives you Kazakhstan. It doesn't matter how you spell it. We love it. We love Kazakhstan. Just a bit of video of my wife after she's just told me to get out of the way because she doesn't like my ugly head in her photographs, apparently. There in the distance is somewhat of a magnificent building, probably a symbol of better times gone by. I see some posters down the bottom that suggest to me that could be some form of a theatre. You probably can't see it on camera, but on the far side there's a statue. Suggests to me that was a special building back in the Soviet days. Okay, darling, so no park would be complete without our towering persona in the form of a statue. I'm going to say that first word, Akademinsky, is an academic. And then he's
Mikhail Petrovich Rusakov.
Oh, it's Mikhail Petrovich. Okay, so Rusakov. So he's a Russian cough. I was going to have a go at
silly.
saying that, but you fixed it for me, so I won't try and say that. But anyway, he's an academic, so he's got lots of knowledge. And there's our very large building that I thought was a theatre, but it could possibly be something to do with academia, but I'm still going with theatre. And if you've got good eyes, you might spot on top a wonderful statue of a lady with a pigeon just about to fly out of her hand. They're very little, hard to see, but there's a lot of sparrows here, and we used to have a lot of sparrows in Sydney when I grew up, but it's very hard to find a sparrow nowadays because the Indian miner, which they've renamed to the common miner, but they're from India, when they move in they make sure there are no sparrows because they raid their nests and kill the young. So the Indian miner, those yellow-beaked birds, we have not seen any here, and that explains the presence of sparrows. You either got sparrows or Indian miners. And now we've got two different ways to spell Balkash. The Q, an S, but they say Balkash, not Balkas. Okay, so this is the Cyrillic spelling. You get the B, the A, the L, the H, the A, and the Sh sound. So that's Balkhash, and that's why the Russians call it Balkhash, but the locals are calling it Balkash. Okay, so right behind us here is the heart that tells us that we all love Balkash. Now, the heart to me is a little bit symbolic of what Balkash in 2024 is. We can see that it was a city that was built by the Soviets for the main purpose of extracting copper, ore and gold. Apparently there's gold in them there hills, not many hills. And of course we've got the lovely big lake, 15th biggest in the world. But unlike some of the places we've been where Kazakhstan has come along in leaps and bounds, largely Balkhash is frozen in time. When the Soviet Union broke down, I've heard the story that everyone just left, went home, no jobs, nothing happened. And that sort of shows with a lot of the buildings. And there is a bit of stuff going on with some common public areas, like as we saw around the War Memorial. They're rebuilding some paths or making some paths, but largely the buildings are tired here. They're old, they're worn, way out of maintenance. And looking at the state of our heart for We Love Balkash, I think it's symbolic for what the city is today. Loved, but tired and worn. A bit like me, not like you. You're still young and beautiful, but look at me. I am loved, right?
Very much so, darling.
I am loved, but a little bit old and worn. And there's our faded love of Balkash, with a very pretty girl in the background walking. So, anyway, I think that's it for us, for Balkash. And yeah, we've enjoyed it. It's been quite nice. But we've got to get on a bus tomorrow and travel 10 hours, 12 hours overnight. And then when we get there, we've got to jump onto another bus, another 2 or 3 hours to head. Another 4 hours. We've got to get those numbers right, darling.
Yes.
We can't upset the numbers. In fact,
There's a big difference between 2 and 4.
yes, there is, sweetheart, and it is very important that people know exactly the right amount of numbers.
Yes.
All right, so we're headed for what, 16 hours sitting up in a bus tomorrow.
16 hours on a bus plus who knows how long on the bus station.
Okay, lovely. Well, I'm looking forward to that.